Mr.
Frank, sorry, if you can just
Step
sorry,
back a
let me,
little
let
bit.
me move forward. I got Frank in the shot. Okay, I'm ready.
Mr. Day, today's symposium is about China's overseas investment. What do you think are the Chinese investment impact on Canada?
China investments in Canada are potentially huge. Canada still controls all the rules, and yet we get the benefit of the investment, which means jobs, infrastructure, long-term high-tech opportunities. We welcome the opportunity, and frankly, we'd like to see even more of that investment.
Up to now, most Chinese investment by big corporations are concentrated in the mining industry. Personal investment are mostly concentrated in real estate and other business. But now we see high-tech companies like Lenovo's interest in BlackBerry. How do you think that Canada can benefit from the wider variety of investment fields?
Well, the demands within China itself, its own consumer demands, and in the ways in which it's investing around the world, are a natural fit for what Canada has to offer, not just in the technologies and the resource, but in the value-added items that flow from that. And that's why you're seeing interest today and ongoing interest that China has. And so much of it is in joint partnerships. Sometimes it's about an acquisition, sometimes it's about a joint venture. You'll see that continue to broaden out. As we've heard today, the amount of investment increase from China into Canada has been very significant. You'll see that continue to grow.
And some of the reps this morning, we heard you talking about the perception difference and the sudden policy change. As a former minister, what do you believe the current government can do in order to attract more SOE investments?
Relations with China is all about relations, which means long-term and personal relations. The ability to build trust and confidence, whether it's between two countries, two businesses, or two people, rely on that commitment to spend the time that's necessary to see what is the need, how can we mutually work together to meet that need, and then see it enhanced for years to come. So that's a job for both sides, to pursue that, but to show that the trust, the confidence, and the willingness to spend the time and take the time is there.
And Canada-China signed the foreign investment agreement last year. However, now almost a year has gone. We don't really see that much implementation. Meanwhile, we even see probably even more barrier. What are the biggest difficulties here? Why can't we move this forward?
The main thing is that the Foreign Investment Protection Agreement was achieved on both sides, and that provides a platform of security for companies who want to make sure that if there's any problem while they invest in that other country, there's going to be due process. There will be rules in place to follow. There will be compensation if there needs to be compensation for any unseen difficulty. And now it's the working out of that. So it's like the marriage has been proclaimed, and now we're getting down to working out the details of what will provide a platform for a longer-term relationship.
And just also want to ask a little bit more on the LNG. And we heard from the public someone saying BC government probably are putting everything in one basket. Do you support that?
There's no question the BC government's focus on LNG has been, it's brilliant because that's such an area of deep need. When a government makes a commitment like that, it gets a lot of attention in other areas too. So what you're going to see as a natural byproduct of them making a priority is an outflow of other businesses, other relationships. It could be resource related, it could be technology related. But when you see a government step up, as BC has, make a major commitment, that catches the attention of everybody in the business and investment world. And you'll see many spin-offs from this, as well as the single focus of LNG.
And early this year, we heard a very famous HD mining case on the foreign laborers. And last night at the reception, and even today, we heard from so many Chinese enterprises. They're saying they love to invest here. However, they are worried about the changing foreign labor policy. Any suggestions?
The present ministers in the federal government recognize the need for clarity When we talk about HD mining, as you know, the process they followed was actually upheld in a Canadian court. What we have to work at very carefully is perception. And so if there's one group that is opposing, let's say, workers coming here, then the investing company needs to very clearly make the case, as HD did, that this is a very specific talent, a very specific area, and the foreign workers are needed. Minister Kenny and others have said companies need to make their case. If they can make their case that the foreign workers are required, they're going to be able to come in. So it's all a matter of communication and perception.
You mentioned about a lot of positive things, but there are barriers or perception problems like the HD mining case. So in your mind, what are the other possible obstacles in welcoming more investment from China in Canada?
Really, a couple of the single largest challenges are distance and population. So it's not a surprise that you would see China on a dollar per dollar basis investing more in, let's say, Germany, which is a much larger population. And you would see them investing significantly in Singapore, which is a very close distance. So when they're looking at Canada, they're looking at a smaller population. In China, there are cities that are bigger than our whole nation. So if you have an opportunity to invest where there's a highly concentrated population or one that's a little more spread out, somebody has to explain to you the benefits of investing in Canada, even though the population is sparse, even though there are transportation challenges. Those can be overcome, and people can realize good returns on their investments, both on the business side and on the social side.
Just want to follow up on the BlackBerry question. Do you foresee that case can go through by the Chinese company Stockwell?
I'm sure that employees at BlackBerry who are looking at the possibility of losing their jobs would be very happy if there was an investment, whether it was from a Chinese company or not. And that shows the importance of foreign investment. It actually builds and strengthens the job market here in Canada. So I'm hoping to see investment that will carry BlackBerry forward, maybe in a different form. And if it's Chinese investment, I think the employees, I think the company, and I think Canadians in general would be pleased with that.
Anything else you wanted to add?
I'm fine.
No, you covered it well.
Perfect.
Thank
Okay.
you very much.